One of my favorite things about Skate is discovering things that the game doesn't tell you about. There's a lot that this game doesn't actually teach you that you only discover through either just playing the game and messing around with the controls, or you discover it through other people. Like a couple nights ago during a live stream, thanks to chat, I figured out how to do fakey no complies. Didn't know that was the thing before. I don't think it tells you anywhere. I don't think it tells you in the Skatepedia. And obviously I'm stoked about that because look how sick they are. That's so cool. You can also do them nollie as well if I can just do that to get into this stance and then boom, like that. There's no missions or anything to do with no complies, so you kind of just have to discover this trick by yourself. And a lot of people didn't even know you could backside no comply until they saw my videos where I was doing them a lot. And again, I only discovered you could backside no comply. I think I was just trying to do a normal no comply, which is just the same input as been in every Skate game. And then I just happened to do a backside one once. And then I was like, oh, hold on a second, let me try that deliberately. And then, yeah, you could do them. And then being able to do nollie no complies. These ones are so hard for some reason. Like, I just think it's really cool discovering something new like that because it's just pretty much like unlocking a new trick that you didn't know about before. I love that slam in Market Mile is actually a challenge. The same could also be said about slappies. I don't think there's any mission that explicitly teaches you how to slappy. I don't believe the Skatepedia has anything about slappies. And like most people, I figured out pretty quickly, you know, that you can just like do regular 50-50 slappies, that you could do 5-0 slappies, that you could do nose grind slappies. They're pretty much the common ones everyone knows. But then I just randomly started messing around with a stick. I found out that you could board slide slappy, lip slide slappy, and then I go ahead and watch Stokes' video on slappies, which I think I've shouted out like 5 times already in separate videos, but it's just a really good video. You know, then I discovered nose blunt slappies. Through that, I discovered blunt slide slappies. That's not what that is. Let's get a blunt slide. There we go. Tail slide slappies, which are usually just suskies, but you can get into a tail slide sometimes. And then nose slide slappies, which I've been using a lot. Again, these are things that the game doesn't teach you. You just kind of figure them out as you play, or you see other people do them first. And then you're like, oh, hey, hold on. I want to try that. That looks really cool. For me, the discovery of faking no complies is a pretty big one. I'm so glad people helped me out with that one, so I appreciate that. But then it also kind of goes further beyond the actual game mechanics, and there's a few things as well that are sort of exploits, I suppose. We're going to head up to this mani pad because it's actually a really good place to demonstrate it. This bench is not for setting people. Quick, fakey 360 no comply. I've been learning that trick in real life, so it's so sick that I can do it here. So, right there, a little delayed pop, right? Most people know about that because that's been a thing since Skate 2, I believe. I wasn't even aware of it, really, until I started seeing people talk about it. And then I think Milky did a video on it on Instagram. And Stoke as well did a video on it. Stoke just has the hacks to this game, I swear. If you guys want a full tutorial on that, I will direct you to Stoke's videos. Basically, yeah, you just delay trick input until you're kind of already off the mani pad. It didn't work that time. I noticed it's very consistent with shove-its. And I like to use them with shove-its because it looks so nice. And I love that it kind of glitches out the animation a little bit because I think it makes it kind of just look a little bit sketchy. It makes the landing a little bit like, oh, like a little sketchy, you know what I mean? And it's such a good way to fight against the giant pop that happens when you try and do a trick out of a manual. So yeah, safe to say I've been using this one a lot. I mean, come on, it's so perfect. And again, that's something you wouldn't know unless either you just discovered it by yourself through playing, or if you saw other people do it or somebody told you about it. It's like the unspoken kind of tricks and mechanics of Skate, and I love that. These sort of things have obviously been around since the first Skate. People have been discovering ways to kind of... I don't like using the word exploit because it sounds like then it's a cheat, when it's more just kind of getting into the underbelly of Skate's physics. That's always been one of the kind of main things that makes Skate Skate, is that you can really mess around with the physics and you can discover these things that make the game either more realistic or just more fun or something. I mean, look at Skate 3 specifically. That thing is pretty much built off like glitches and bugs. People figured out whole new ways of playing through exploiting the physics a little bit. And again, I mean exploiting in a good way, not a bad way. I believe I do remember the developers actually saying at some point that they're not going to patch out any of these types of bugs. They understand as well that that's kind of part of what makes Skate Skate. Like they're not going to patch out speed glitches or anything. I could be wrong on that, but I swear they said that in one of the dev blogs at some point, which, you know, I think people appreciate Because, you know, what is Skate without speed glitches? What is Skate without these late pops? You know, it's part of the DNA and the physics of this franchise. There's another really cool thing that I discovered thanks to the help of a few people as well. This one is definitely more of like a bug, I think. But I also believe it's potentially either a cut feature or it's something that we're going to see come to the game. I'm not going to show you guys how to do it because, again, I don't want to risk being the guy that causes them to patch this. So it involves having to approach a curb extremely slowly. Okay, well, that wasn't part of the plan. Alright, take two. So we gotta approach this very slowly. And then I just tap A and boom. We just did a straight no comply up a curb. I think this is common knowledge. Like, a lot of people seem to know about this. So maybe, you know, it's not that much of a secret, but I just don't want to explain it just in case it gets patched out and I don't want to be held responsible for that. But yeah, somehow there is straight no complies up curbs that are in the game, and to me this looks like an intended feature. It looks too good to not be its own feature, so I really hope that means we're going to get straight no complies at some point. Please, 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 Skate, give us straight no complies. Anyway, I just wanted to show that because it helps my point of, like, you know, discovering these new things that you wouldn't normally know about. I only discovered that through other people. I do love doing those backside Smith slappies though. I think this is the only curb you can do Smith slappies at currently. But supposedly, Smith grind slappies and feeble slappies are being worked on. So really cool if we do get more slappy tricks, get more no comply tricks. That makes me extremely happy. I'm pretty hyped for the 16th because it's going to be interesting to see when the lobbies are fully open to the public. You know, it's going to be fun to see people finally get their hands on this game. And they are dropping an update as well on the 16th, so there's going to be a day one patch pretty much that fixes a lot of the bugs that we face in this version. I'm hoping along with those patches and fixes comes some new content as well. They haven't released the patch notes just yet, but they will on the 15th, so hopefully we're going to see some new stuff. I don't know how likely that is, but, you know, you never know. I've also just been trying to pop tricks as low as possible. I mean, like, things like that. That frontside flip was really low. And if I want to do a more exaggerated one, you know, I can get a bit more height on it. I'll take that. That was alright. I genuinely think that Skate has the potential to be one of the most realistic skateboarding games that we've ever seen. The animations alone are some of the most realistic animations we've ever seen. That tied with just all the different ways to keep your tricks like low to the ground and just realistic looking and just like... And when you look at the edits people are posting, like New Comply, Rat Bag, the Hoodlum guys, you know, you look at all those edits that are being posted and that are actually like filmed freehand, but they look like they're using keyframes because they're that good at filming freehand. It's very impressive. But like the right camera angles, the right tricks, the right techniques, you can make this game look so realistic and it's awesome. And the same goes for Skitter XL, same goes for Session. People are out there making those games look like super realistic. But the one thing that Skid has over Skitter XL and Session is the animations. Also, the bailing is a lot more realistic in my opinion. And sometimes you can get some really authentic looking bails, like literally off like a flat ground kickflip. Sometimes your character will just misstep and like pretty much trip up. It's really cool. So I'm really excited for the 16th to come by because I think we're going to see so many good edits, so many good clips. I mean, we're already seeing loads, but we're going to see so much more. People are going to just squeeze every ounce of realism that they can get out of this game. And I'm really hyped to see that as somebody who is in this for the realism. And I want to see that part of the community thrive. I got nothing but respect for the people that like to play this and do crazy big jumps. That side of the game is extremely fun, so I get the appeal. But for me, it's just the realism. That is my domain. That is what I want to achieve, is get the most realism out of this game as possible, but also with the added fun of it being skate and it being more casual and more chill. You know, Session is probably one of the most realistic skate sims we've ever seen, if not the most realistic, right? But that's the entire design philosophy behind Session. It's supposed to be realistic. That's the entire point of the game, and you have all of the settings there available to make it as realistic as you want. Skate is not supposed to be as realistic as Session. It's supposed to be, as people are calling it, a simcade. It's an in-between between arcade and simulation. A lot more casual, a lot more accessible. And so for me, I think it's more fun to take a game that restricts you with only giving you, you know, a certain amount of settings, and a game that isn't exactly designed to be the most realistic skateboarding game ever. But then taking this and then making it as realistic as you can and getting the most realistic tricks, the most realistic lines in a game that people maybe don't expect to see that kind of skating in as much. People see a session clip, they come to expect realism. People see a skate clip and it could go either one of two ways. It could either be super realistic, or it could be a crazy big gap, or it could be trick lining or something like that. And I love surprising people. I love subverting their expectations, you know. When they see my video pop up, they don't know what to expect. If they don't know who I am, they don't know if it's going to be realistic, or if it's going to be big gaps, or if it's going to be goofy trick lining or something. They don't know. Oh, that was so good. When they see the realistic skateboarding, hopefully they like it. And then hopefully, like, you know, I've kind of unlocked a new side of skate for some people. I don't know. Anyway, I just think it's cool to kind of represent the realistic side of this game amongst a bunch of other really, really sick creators that I really like and really enjoy their content too, you know. Milky, Garrett, Stoke, Steezy Stew, Key Skates, you know, Nukeapply, Ratbag. The list can go on. Loads of guys either on here on YouTube or on Twitch or on Instagram, all just bringing the most realistic skating and just kind of growing that realistic community in the new skate, and it's so cool. This game just covers a lot of different playstyles, and that means that there's lots of creators and lots of people making edits and stuff in that specific playstyle. Everybody's still playing the same game, but everyone's just playing it their own way, and that's really one of the things I like about skate, because that's what skateboarding is, right? We're all doing the same thing, but we're all doing it differently, and we're doing it how we want to do it. We're all inspired by different people and different styles. That's what skate is, except it's kind of just exemplified. It's skateboarding times 100 on like the crazy scale, because you can either be super realistic, or you can be on the other side of the scale and skydiving off buildings, you know? Or you can do both. I think it was Garrett that made a good point, where he was saying basically that, you know, sometimes he gets a bit burnt out on the realistic side of skating. Dude, what the... But Garrett basically said that, you know, when he gets burnt out on the realistic side of skating, then he'll just go and free fall off a skyscraper and do some crazy big jumps for a couple of hours with his friends. And I love that this game lets you go from that just one extreme all the way to the other, just whenever you feel like it. And, you know, it is really cool. You know, I was jumping and doing a few crazy jumps and stuff just yesterday when I was playing with a couple friends. Because, you know, yeah, I just didn't feel like getting clips or trying to skate realistically. And then when I want to make a video for you guys, I'm just thinking, okay, like, how realistic can I play this? You know, I want to get some really good clips for you guys, and I want to show you how realistic it can be. So, you know, I see the appeal of both kind of play styles, and I think it's just really cool that we have all of this available to us. Anyway, yeah, I wanted to find a ledge to try and do some late pop tricks out of. Nice front shove there. Let's see what else we can do in this little ride on. Lip slide. Oh, so good. Nice, we got the delay little front big spin. It just looks so nice, man. I'm actually getting a pretty good hang of it. It's just fun to do. I do hope that we just get a general kind of lower pop out of manuals and grinds anyway, because that's kind of the main issue where... What did I even do into that? I don't even know. Manuals and grinds are kind of the main problem, where you do end up just usually doing high pop regardless of your input. It's kind of hard to fight the high pop. We just stalled on the speaker. That was insane. I see a possible spot here. Yep, that was sick. That was pretty cool. Yeah, that was sick. That was it. That was so nice. That was kind of crazy. Yeah, I mean, that kind of worked. That was such a cool trick, and the stutter really messed it up, so I'm not exactly pleased about that. Damn. I mean, that was literally perfect. I don't think there was anything wrong with that. That was interesting. I didn't really mean to do the body very loud, but I'll take it. Yeah, that worked. I discovered this spot earlier today and wanted to see if I could get anything on it. It's kind of hard to skate. You have to go at it at a weird angle. I swear, like, no matter what the video is, I always end up back in Brick Switch. And I'm really excited for this to eventually get unlocked, and there's going to be challenges here. Hey, it's the homie Kai. Then, you know, we're hopefully going to get some new free cosmetics along with Brick Switch opening. Because this has some of the best spots in the game, like, hands down. But just the lines around here are just so good. And then his mani pad's pretty cool. And then, nice big spine, or pyramid, or whatever you want to call it. Bro, I'm trying to skid here. Get off the road. Woo, I love that spot. Oh my... Jeez, this guy's falling off the roof. What is going on right now? Yeah. And then, I don't know, just kickflip out. Oh, we did like a nose bunk over that. That was really cool. What the hell is Kai even trying to do right now? Some crazy parkour stuff. Wall jump caveman? That's insane. Damn, I would like to actually get up there though and drop off that into the bank. That would be kind of cool. We're heading up here. Might be able to just drop in. Hold on. This is crazy. Damn, okay. Big ass hard flip. Can we like tray into this corner? Oh, that was kind of insane. I'll take that. That was pretty nice. Damn, who the hell that guy waving at? It's fun to just take a break from the real serious stuff and do stuff like this. Like, this isn't too over the top. I could maybe see Jaws doing this in real life. Well, there you go, guys. I think that is going to do it for today. I've been dealing with allergies this whole video, so I apologize for that. I'm hoping that you don't notice, but yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you as always for watching, and I will catch you in the next video. Peace.